Marco Vicenzino is a global strategy advisor and he joins us live now from New York. Good to have you with us. There's been a flurry of diplomatic activity, hasn't there? And it really gives an interesting insight into how Syria is positioning itself in the region. What should we take from Saudi being the new administration's first foreign visit?
Listen, the downfall of Assad, triggered by events post-October 7th, has created a power vacuum in the region. This presents an historic opportunity for many forces in the region for a reset in the political reconfiguration of the region. And I think within this historic context, the visit by the Syrian delegation to Damascus, to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is a major political breakthrough. There's been many false dawns in the region in recent decades. But I think this time around, if the regional players, including Saudi, Qatar, Turkey, many others, the US, Europe, if they do it right as much as possible this time, I think there is a real opportunity for something to reconfigure the geopolitical landscape of the region in a very positive, constructive, and productive way. However, there's a long way to go with that, because basically you have look at the Syrians. Basically, what they're looking for is diplomatic recognition that unleashes the economic aid. Energy-wise, they need to replace Iran, hopefully with Saudi Arabia. That's part of the negotiations. The Saudis want basically is stable and secure Syria that doesn't have spillover in the region, whether it's issues of terrorism, particularly looking at the drug trade, things like Captagon. So the Saudis have been very, very cautious like the others, but this does present a major breakthrough and a major opportunity, not just bilaterally between Saudi and Syria, but between Syria within the region and beyond.
How difficult will it be, though, or is it, to sideline Iran?
I don't think if the intention is to sideline completely Iran, it's wrong. Iran is down in Syria, it's down, but it's not out in Syria, and it's not out in the broader region. It remains a reality. Saudi has many, many interests regarding the bilateral Saudi-Iranian relationship. Remember the events was September of 2019, when the Saudi oil facilities were hit by drones, and it was Iran that did it. And that threat alone, the reality of those type of threats, are still within the within the Saudi mindset, or within the broader region and other players. So I think you can't completely sideline them. The Iranian Ayatollah made a speech in recent days making vague references to Syrian youth, but he was saying specifically, pointing out about the American presence in eastern Syria. From 900 soldiers, it's gone to 2,000. For the Iranians, that presents a new threat and a reality much greater than it was before December 7th, when the Assad's downfall. So this is a very complex geopolitical game we have at stake. Many players, not everyone can be discounted. Everyone has a role. Some reduced and some become more prominent, like the Saudi role.
And if we throw the net wider, we've got the Ukrainians visiting Damascus, and off the back of that, President Volodymyr Zelensky preparing to re-establish diplomatic ties with Syria. What does that mean for that relationship and, in turn, the fate of Russia's military bases in Syria?
Well, yeah, the Russian military, right now, that's subject to negotiations between the new government in Damascus and the Russian side. And it depends on what the Russians are willing to offer economically and diplomatically plays a key role. So, but there's also the political domestic reality within Syria that even if the new government's playing a pragmatic game and looking for concessions, they're going to have to look at their political base. Many Syrians have suffered due to Russian air power. And more than that, within Syria post 2015. So even if the new government is pragmatic and wants to cut a deal, can get concessions, politically, will it be sustainable with its base and ordinary Syrians? And that's a major thing to take into consideration. The Russians may have other options. People are speaking about Libya and other places, but to replace the air base and the naval base within Syria, it has everything, the infrastructure. It's the conduit for many things, operations in Africa. To replace that base is not difficult. The Russians are going to try as much as possible to retain some form of presence in Syria.
OK. Marco Vicenzino, many thanks indeed for joining us here on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.